I'm doing a 7 session study on the topic of fasting. This is session one. It's called The Call to Fast. Each of these videos will hopefully be around 4 to 5 minutes, and I plan to release one every 2 days or so. So, hopefully, in the next 2 weeks, these 7 videos will be out there. But before we jumped in to the topic of fasting, I wanted to start with two scriptures. The first one is Second Chronicles chapter 16, verse 9. And this says, "The eyes of the Lord range throughout the earth to strengthen those whose hearts are fully committed to him." The second one is Jeremiah chapter 29, verses 12 and 13, which say, "Then you will call on me and come and pray to me, and I will listen to you. You will seek me and find me when you seek me with all your heart." A few years ago, I heard this very interesting quote, and I'm still trying to figure out what I think about it, and I'm curious to see what you think. It said, "God can't give us any more of himself because he gave himself fully on the cross. Fasting is not about getting God to give you himself, but instead unveiling sinful things that we do and lies that we believe that are hiding him from us." So let that stew for a second. A common question when it comes to fasting is, why in the world would I ever want to punish my body by starving myself? This is a question, of course, asked by most people in the world, but especially those who do not understand the power of a biblical fast. They have learned how to survive at a very low level of spiritual authority, and they are not utilizing all of the tools that are at their disposal. This kind of Christian is usually marked by predictability, can be very boring, can even be just very frustrated and familiar with defeat. Many of us learn how to make do with a low level of spiritual power, and we just think that maybe this is all that there is. There's this beautiful verse in Second Peter chapter 1, verse 3, which says, "God has given us everything that we need to live a godly life in Christ Jesus." Everything that we need to walk in freedom, to overcome darkness. But it just seems like so many of us still don't. Today, fasting is not a very common topic of discussion, at least in American churches where I grew up. Just being given tools and given an instruction booklet is not what actually brings an outcome into our lives. Imagine if you tried to build a house, you were given an instruction booklet that walked you through every step. You were given all the materials and even the tools that you needed to build the house. But you just said, I think I'm going to build this house without ever picking up that hammer. One of the most basic fundamental tools that would help so much in the construction of the house. I think this is what it is like to try to honor God and live in deep intimacy with Jesus in our Christian lives and choose to never fast. All too often, we settle for what seems good or what is all right when it is not actually God's best for us. Before we step into and experience freedom, this is oftentimes followed by seasons of agitation and discomfort. And fasting is a tool that can bring us through these seasons in our lives and into the freedom that Jesus has for us. So, if anything that I just said struck you in the chest, maybe between the eyes, then I invite you to let this video series challenge your relationship with the Lord in regards to the topic of fasting.